Alrighty, hey everyone, I hope you guys are all having an amazing day out there today. Whoa, tariff news has definitely been a little bit of a bummer here. Wanted to give you guys a heads up, I will be smoking once a week with you guys today. It's going to be Monday, we'll see what happens afterwards. But, guys, today kind of sucked, to be honest. We were looking pretty good going into last week. We had the big, beautiful bill signed, all that type of stuff. And as we kind of roll through the news here today, we will be talking about just how, like, we were set up for success, and then we still had to wait a little bit longer. There's still lots of hope for this market. We still got plenty of time, but oh gosh, things like this always hit you deep. So today I'm going to be smoking a conspiracy. I don't remember the last time I smoked one of these. I wish I could show it to you guys closer, but you know, it's focused on my face, not that. But take this off, toast it up for us today, and then afterwards we'll just be talking about crypto, some of the news, and then vibing here, checking out the portfolios, because since we did buy a little bit of altcoins over the last week, they're basically all down right now, which is not fun, but we can still dollar cost average as the next few weeks go on, and then we'll probably build up a small portfolio again. But yeah, kind of the news for today, the budget for the today, or not the budget, but you know, the task of the day, so to speak, right? So I'm gonna tear this off very fast. I don't got a Loki a treat for today. He'll have to get a treat a little bit later. And don't worry, he's had a lot of treats today. There we go. Took off all the big bands, have this nice little one right here. I think because I do have an app that lets me focus in my camera, I may be able to let you see what this looks like here. Maybe. Focus. Maybe I do it manually. There you go. Looks something like that. I know it's kind of hard. But yeah, haven't had it before. It seems like a good stick. There we go. And I'm excited to try it. I even, you know, there's a lovely cigar shop up in Seattle called FK Kirsten, excuse me. They sell pipes and tobacco. She gave me a bunch of the cedar wood for lighting up cigars, so I'm really excited to try some of this. I haven't done it in a minute, to be frank. Like, I mean a minute of lighting up a cigar with some cedar. Basically, you break a little piece off. It can be as big as small as you want to, and then instead of using the big old lighter to just straight up, you know, like torch it, right? You torch this, and then you toast the cigar, and then what you do afterwards is you light it using this thing. All right. So I got all my stuff ready to try this out, and hopefully this is a nice little relaxing experience. I also got some water for today because I feel like it's going to be a longer stream, and I got some tea, but this tea is like still 200 degrees, so we're going to have to let that sit for a little bit here. But yeah, happy to see all of you guys, happy to see you, Josh, my man. I'm going to cut this cigar very fast before I do anything else, and we're just going to toast this up and then see what's going. I'm hoping that, there we go, I'm hoping that I can still start up a cigar channel, but I might just post a couple times whenever I'm smoking, so it'll be a lot more laid back, so I can record myself smoking at a lounge, somewhere, just like somewhere that's not just my house, where like I'm moving a lot right now, right? So we'll see how that goes down the road. So first of all, toast, see how this works out. Nice little flame, there we go. And then we just gotta toast it. The only thing is, like, sometimes these flames get kind of big, but the way I'm looking at it, you know, I just made too big, I just took off too much cedar. But I mean, I don't know if you guys ever smell cedar wood. It smells pretty darn good, right? There we go. Toast, toast, toast. Don't know if you guys can hear the crinkling, probably because I have my gate turned up here, but nice little toast. And then ash it out, and then back to being black. There we go. All right, nice little toasted cigar to set everything off for us today. Let's go over here very fast. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and what's going on. I wish I had great news for you guys. We were so hopeful last week, so hopeful. So the lines I have drawn up right now are just a little bit of a trend line coming back over here from the August lows all the way over here to the April lows of the, what was that day called? Liberation Day tariffs, and then where we are right now, right? We're still off these lows. Remember, just a couple months ago, back in April, May, June, July, about 3 months ago, basically, we were down at around $77,000. Right now, we are at $108,000. Bitcoin can move up very, very quickly when it wants to, it just has not wanted to do so in a way that's made like all-time high crazy big moves, right? We're still waiting. I'm still optimistic that it's going to happen, but boy, this type of stuff where we had an opportunity and we just kind of pulled back a little bit sucks. Now, the big reason for this, though, before we start going into the technicals here, was because Trump talked a little bit more about tariffs today, and we'll go more into that down the road right here and later on the stream, but that's what's happening. Now, as I'm looking at this, you can definitely see that Bitcoin's going to try to do a little bit more of a pullback here, and maybe we might come back down over here to maybe 105 to 104,000 bucks. That's not a large move for Bitcoin. I just want to stress that for you guys. If I were to see this right here and see Bitcoin come back down below the 20 and the 50-day moving averages, which would lead to a little bit more of a volatile moment, as you guys remember, well, this move just back over here to 106,000, that's $2,000 loss, that's only 2%, right? So that's only a 2% move. If we come back to over here, that's not even a 4% move. So as we kind of play through these ups and downs here and we're doing our trading, just remember Bitcoin's price may go up a lot or go down a lot, like, oh, Bitcoin dropped down 4,000 bucks, Bitcoin went up 2,000 bucks. But in reality, it's still small percentages, so it's just kind of matching the rest of the market here. What I have been not happy about, though, is we have been coming down more and more and more, and we're kind of about to get squeezed here one way or the other. The only optimistic thing I can say, especially over this past weekend where everybody was, you know, having a good 4th of July, we did get pretty close here. So this one right here was 10,529. I think we did break it though. No, this one was 10,530. So technically we do have a lower high building out here. We just weren't able to break out. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have to continue to consolidate here for a while before making these larger moves. You guys know that if we're seeing a little bit of resistance right here and we're not able to break out above it, what usually happens next? Well, you look to see what that next trend line is. We have that longer trend line over here, but that's more for rate cuts and things like that. What we have in the short term here is a little bit more of a scary experience, I would say, right? And let me just pull this out here, right? And then you're starting to see how Bitcoin is breaking down today, and how later on through tomorrow's candle here, which starts up in about 50 minutes, we're probably going to be hitting around 106,553. If we do break through it, as you guys know, with the volatility, we may be coming as far down as maybe 105,000 bucks, which would equal about a $3,000 loss. Today, as you can see right here, we're down about 1,000 bucks. It doesn't look that scary, right? It's just that when we have these moving average crossovers, they tend to be a lot more volatile, which does indicate a little bit more fear coming into that world. All right, now, I'm assuming Bitcoin's going to consolidate a little bit more here. I'm not happy about it, but there's nothing we can really do because of the news coming out. Let me go over here to the main news of the day. You can see the stock market futures are down as well right now. All the news is Trump tariffs, right? New trade deals, tariffs on BRICS countries, declining dollar. You know, when the market's having a bad day, the news organizations just say how everything is very, very bad. Everything is horrible. Nothing is going to get better. But I will say this, all right? The Trump administration is teasing more trade deals. There really hasn't been that many over the past few months, I would say, as I would have wanted to see more. And hey, Verlight, man, happy to see you. Hope you're doing well, man. But hopefully they can keep getting some deals done, because the Vietnam deal was very good for us. The China framework is moving along. The British framework is moving along. We already have a lot of stuff set in its home, but we need to get better and better and better, right? So this is going to be hard for America to do because, you know, it's a lot of negotiation. It's a much more of a grind. We'll have to see what can happen next. But as part of this negotiations, Trump is now saying, well, you guys aren't doing what we want fast enough for certain countries. And this is what really set the market off today, where you saw the stock market down, cryptocurrency market down, everything just not doing too hot. All right. Now, Trump announces steep tariffs on 14 countries starting August 1st. Now, I'm not going to go down the list here and talk about all this stuff here, but I did take some notes. I'm going to make a separate video about this, but I want you to see is right here. And for this, why don't we go to final, and why don't I just zoom in a little bit here so you guys can see as much as best as you can, right? So what we have, this is actually a very good cigar, by the way. I have another one I want to smoke with you, but I'm going to make a dedicated video about it from another channel, and I'm hoping you guys will enjoy it. Now, Laos, July 7th, 40%, April 2nd, 48%, right? Myanmar, 44%. You can just see right here, right? So they sent follow-up letters saying, hey, you're going to pay these tariffs because we're not getting a good deal out of you, which is going to be crazy because these countries, again, they will get hit harder. So on the right-hand side over here, April 2nd, that's when we had Liberation Day. That's the tariff rate they were given. July 7th, which is today, right? This is the new tariff they're going to be facing soon if they're not able to make a deal. I believe they said August 1st for this one. Yeah, starting August 1st, which again is like 3 weeks away. So there is time for these countries to get their act together and not have to deal with all this stuff, right? And hey, Villa got a dividend payout. Oh, nice, dude. Dividend payouts always a fun thing to happen. As long as you keep on reinvesting them. It gets crazy when you start taking the money out to spend it. But you can see Laos 48% in April, 40% in July. Myanmar down 4%. Cambodia instead of 49% went down to 36. Thailand went from 36 to 36. That means Thailand is doing something okay and right? So like they're negotiating, right? Not as much as the government wants, but they're not maybe being disrespectful or too hardballish, right? Bangladesh 37 to 35, Serbia 37 to 35, Indonesia 32 to 32, right? Bosnia 35 to 30, South Africa 30 to 30, Japan 24 to 25. Japan went higher, so Japan must be pissing off Trump. Kazakhstan went from 27 to 25. Malaysia went from 24 to 25, and South Korea went from 25 to 25, and Tanzania 28 to 25, right? So we are seeing some nastiness happen right here, and I'm happy that this is, you see who the economies are though? These are smaller economies, and because they are smaller economies, that makes me believe the market won't take it too hard. So when the announcement came out this morning, we first started getting some of those news out, right? It was like wave after letters, wave after letters, wave after letters. No, that's not this one. Excuse me. It's a smaller time frame that I'm talking about here. Yeah, there it is. Wave after letters, wave after letters. A little bit less drastic than that one. A lot of waves coming over here, and it spooked everybody out. This was just coming from last night. There was rumors about tariffs coming across, and that kind of spooked some people. And then you had bulls trying to really break through and have a big spike, and it really just did not manifest itself. Not enough buyers last night on an American holiday weekend. But yeah, so I'm hoping that because they're such small economies, it's more of just like, whoa, that was scary. Now we can get back on to watch the market go higher, right? Now, if we were going after Europe or China again with massive tariffs, I believe that would be much more of a concern. But I don't see that happening right now, at least, okay? As far as the rest of the market is concerned, I'm just going to go over here to the daily chart so you guys can peek in and see. Ethereum, still sideways. Still not able to break out above that moving average right there. Ethereum is ready to blast off, but it's not going to until we kind of figure this stuff out. Solana, still going sideways here. Dogecoin still going sideways here. After that big move over here, we pretty much did nothing since back over here in March. Trump still going down. Melania still going down. Whiffs, okay. Bonk, okay. Bonk's actually been doing great. Bonk's up 3% today, 3-4%. Miro's doing okay today. And then we have Baby Doge. So, you know, a lot of meh here, a lot of meh. As far as our portfolio, the high risk one. Sorry, Loki's running around outside the house. We're down about 4% in our portfolio, or around $35. Our group portfolio, the one that's a little bit the safe one, that's up 2% right now, which is still pretty good to see. And then we have our main portfolio. This one's going to be up no matter what because of when I bought it. But we now have a worse performer here with BMT. That's now down 40%. We didn't put that much money into it because we knew it was going to be high risk, right? Bubble maps. One of you guys wanted me to buy into this, so I did. But it's on about $8, and it's down quite a bit. We're going to have to see if it makes a comeback here. As far as everything else, Trump is down 8, Hyperliquid's down 2, a lot of iffy stuff here, not bad, not crazy. Kronos is down 11, but we got some stuff like XRP up 4%, BNB up 2.5%, SEI still up 41%, and Bitcoin's up 3%. So we're still making money here, but the safe one is making money, not the high risk one. Although we did not buy them at the same time, so it's going to be kind of hard to compare them here. And hey, Knoxville, happy to see my man. Let me light this back up. I'm not smoking, I'm talking, and that always drives me nuts. There you go. What I like about this stuff is how easy it is to actually light back up, or light these wood pieces back up. The only thing that's kind of funky about these types of wood pieces, and this isn't a bad thing, it's kind of just like a mesmerizing thing. So when you light this, like when you light wood on fire, you know it's crackling and popping just in a smaller form because it's a very thin piece of wood. You can feel the vibrations all across your hand as it's popping and whatnot. It feels kind of interesting. All right, so I think Mondays are going to be good. So far, the data's coming in. I can't read all the data because of my page for some reason. Maybe I got to zoom out a little bit, maybe. No, it's not letting me read the poll. I'll read the poll at the end of the stream here, and it should be fine. I might have to just open up the actual YouTube page and see what it says on watching my own stream, right? And hey, Bill Showtime, happy to see you, my man. Hope you guys all just had a really good holiday weekend. 4th of July was freaking fantastic. What do you think about the new gambling laws passed by Trump beautiful bills? You can only deduct 90% loss if you're gambling. If you lost money on casino, you will still owe taxes. I think that's okay. I mean, you know, I think he just wants to divert less money into the gambling complex and more into just spending for big businesses. I think that's kind of his goal here. But again, I don't know exactly the reasoning behind all that. But I don't gamble that much, so I don't care. And, you know, I've never gambled so much I need to put it on my taxes for the most part, right? Maybe some years, yeah, but that's after you win a big chunk of money, like, oh, let me go gamble it away, right? Exactly how it works out. That way, at the end of the year, I'm like, oh yeah, you won like 10,000 bucks, but you also lost 10,000 gambling, so it negates itself and you don't pay the taxes there, right? But I don't gamble too much. Yeah, this is actually pretty good. It's a little bit of a lighter stick, to be honest, but it's good. All right, so as we kind of wait for Bitcoin to do a little bit more consolidating here, I want to remind you guys, in the scheme of things, that red line right there is the September FOMC meeting. This is where all the economists, everybody and their mama, is basically saying, hey, we expect to have a rate cut right here. And I think that's still a solid place for most people to be. We don't have a FOMC meeting in August, right? So we go from July, we have one this month, we skip August, and then we go to September. So that is going to be an interesting thing. Maybe they will have an emergency meeting in August if they need to, but it seems like Trump is pushing hard right now to get another Fed member on the board. So if he gets another Fed member on the board, right, that may put more pressure on Jerome Powell to act, and he may be outvoted by his board, which could be something very extraordinary that we don't normally see all too much. All right. So besides all that, for the day, getting out of our portfolios and stuff like that, last 24 hours, there's a few tokens doing okay, but it's really just a few. More tokens are doing bad. Pudgy Penguins is down 8%, Maple Syrup is down 8%, Fartcoin is down 6%, Judo 5, Dog with Hat 5, Floki 5, Virtuals 5. It's not a pleasant day for a lot of tokens, and you can see over the last 7 days, a lot of them have been actually going down here. It's the last 30 days that have been really good. Last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days for a lot of these tokens. You're seeing some green here for the last 90 days, right? Now, Celestia may not be doing too good, but you can see a lot of, oh, no, you guys can't. Haha. You can see a lot of green right here for the last 90 days. A lot of green, a lot of green, a lot of green. Right, so as long as we have some green there, you know they've at least not going, they're not hitting bottom after bottom after bottom after bottom after bottom. They are making nice moves. Now, as far as on the top 100, what's making the best moves over the last 90 days? That'd be Maple Syrup Finance with $612 million market cap. You have Pudgy Penguins, Hyperliquid, Virtuals, SPX 6900, Dog with Hat, right? On the other side here, some of the worst ones are Dex, Volta, Celestia, Gate Token, IPS, Pi. But again, Pi is only down 16% last 90 days. That's not terrible, right? The terrible one is Dexy. The ones that lose more than 50%, obviously they're probably not in the top 100 market caps anymore, so they might be on page number 2. And we can check that out actually here just in a second. Yeah, Mantrum has lost 96%. Barachain 54%. Move 50%. I have some Move too, so that's kind of sucks. I'm probably down about 200 bucks in that position. No, 100 bucks in that position. Plume down 33, Grass is down 28, right? So there's some nastiness here. And then there are some other ones here like Buldon, but this one's is a glitch. Moodang is up 700%, Dog is up 300%, Mog is up 200. Zebek Network is up 181. So there are some good things here. It's just, you know, you got to get lucky with some of these picks right now. One of the things I saw that was interesting, Mancho was part of a scandal, I believe. There was a big scandal around it. You can see the chart right there. It spiked and then it crashed. There was some scandal that happened. It just has not been able to come back, right? Has not been able to come back. I wonder if they're still tweeting and doing stuff like that. Because right now, I bet a lot of these workers were hoping for their tokens to make them very wealthy individuals, and now their tokens are basically worthless, right? Very, very much worthless. The job's not finished, right? Yeah, they need to do something to get interest back in them again, but I don't know. A chart like that is never a good thing, right? A chart like, let's go last year. You know, you go from around 89 cents all the way up to $8, then with one crazy hack or bad thing happening, you go straight down to 20 cents. Oh, that's not a good thing, right? Hey, brother. Oh, hey, Bill Showtime. Happy to see you, man. Or did you already say hello? No. I already said hello to you. There you go. A lot of sports betting. Casinos might go bankrupt if you can only deduct 90%. I mean, I'm okay if there's less casinos in the world. I think we have plenty of casinos. I'm a guy who lives in Washington State where we have like mega Native American casinos. And I see a lot of people lose a lot of money to casinos, right? I don't really think casinos are like this crazy thing that needs to be protected and saved in America. But maybe somebody does out there, right? True, I have a new plan with 4 dividends I'm investing in. Also, Shiba Inu is looking interesting on the charts. And hey, Mo, happy to see you, man. Yeah, dividends are always a really good play. I know a lot of people have been going into the MicroStrategy dividend plays, and those have been performing pretty well, especially if you can hold long term. But man, those charts are kind of volatile, so you can't always just exit the positions as quickly as you want to, especially if like today Bitcoin's coming down a little bit. But again, when you look at the charts here for Bitcoin, especially, let me go back over here. That doesn't look bad, right? Go look at the monthly charts here for the past few years. Maybe let me go to a naked chart. There we go. You know, we've had a lot of bumps and hiccups and stuff, but in the meantime, we're still in a pretty good spot. I think the fear here right now is that somehow we're rolling over, and that rolling over will cause us to go back down into like the low 70s or something. And then from there, we have to bounce, and then there we go higher in 2026. But that would just be a abysmal type of thing, right? And that's really why we want July and especially August to be really good months for us. And I think we're going to have those good months, but we need to have a signal from the Fed saying rate cuts are coming. And you know, I do think the Fed is in the back foot a little bit, but I don't think that's enough for them to change their position here. There's a lot of politics being played by the Fed, and it goes for both Republicans and Democrats and the Fed. Everybody plays their political games, right? But damn, like, we need to have some rate cuts. Inflation is low enough for rate cuts, let me say that. And we haven't seen the crazy spikes of inflation that the Fed said was going to happen, that the media said was going to happen. So I'm like, hey, maybe give it one more month of CPI to see what's happening. But if we're having job cuts in the private sector and we're losing jobs in the private sector, that's not a good thing. You don't want all the jobs to be taken up by the government, because as soon as a recession happens, the governments don't have the budgets to maintain all of those federal workers, or not federal, those state workers, and those state workers get laid off, and that just leads to a mess all in of itself, right? So it's like a practical chain reaction that's not going to be a pleasant experience. But I don't think we're close to a recession right now, especially with the big beautiful bill. I'm hoping the stimulus in that bill really keeps us going and keeps us grinding upwards. But yeah, Jerome Powell is still letting me down here. And hey, Digital K, happy to see you, my man. Hope you're doing very, very well yourself. Hope you guys all had a good 4th of July. I'm in kind of a brain fog day today, and I don't know why. I woke up today and I think I just overslept. I think I went to bed around 3 o'clock and I woke up around like 12, and I was like, whoa, I had way too much sleep. I didn't even have a chance to put out videos today, but what I'm going to do later on tonight is actually put some videos out for tomorrow. So I'll have all the videos made tonight and I'll just post them tomorrow, which will be good. A little bit of an update myself as well here. I am, let me see if I can pull this up for you guys. I'm going to this Rose City Cigar Festival on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So for 2 nights, Friday night and Sunday night. It's supposed to be a really cool thing. A lot of my friends go here. I haven't been here before, but I got myself a VIP ticket, which will be pretty fun. And I get some, I guess, VIP exclusive brunch. Something special on Friday and Saturday, and a curated swag bag full of complimentary cigars, which will be pretty fun, right? But I'm missing Thursday, but I'm gonna go to an all-white party, which is gonna be pretty fun. Go to some party here that's out next to a festival or something, and then a brunch, a free brunch, which is I'm paying for the brunch basically. But I think that'd be pretty fun too. So I'm gonna have some fun over here this weekend. This is my Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I will not be doing anything those days as far as YouTube, besides maybe recording some videos, on my phone and uploading them. I don't know if I should do that or not, but maybe I'll just post short form videos like, YouTube shorts. But yeah, that's basically how you're gonna see me. Normally I take my Fridays off, my Saturdays off and stuff anyway. But normally I like to work on Sundays when possible. So get ready for that. That'll be pretty fun. I'll post some pictures about what I'm doing too. They have a hotel, it looks like here. Courtyard Marriott North. No, I'm not staying at the Courtyard Marriott. I'm staying at some, that's a little bit nicer, but this one also is pretty nice. I see the waterfront right there. But I'm staying at a little bit of a trendier hotel. I wouldn't say it's a better hotel. I'd say trendy hotel. Probably it's more expensive. Let's say that. But yeah, so it should be pretty fun. All right. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Shiba Inu's been skipping along the 0.1 level. Well, Shiba is one of those things like we talked about before, where it just likes to have these bigger spikes and then it calms down very, very quickly. We've seen it have one little small spike over the last few weeks, and that was back down. What if you go from the body of this candle up here? That was around a 46% swipe just a few weeks ago. That was a pretty good move if you were able to catch it. Oh, excuse me, that was a few months ago. This is not a weekly chart. This is a monthly chart. Here, the daily chart. There you go. All right. So that was all the way back over here. The big move really was only from May 7th, let's say, when it started, over here to May 10th. So it was only about 3 days of that big move. So it's really hard to capture onto it. But again, if you were buying anywhere over here, and you saw that big spike happen, you would know to sell because it only goes up for those few days, right? So right now, let me pull all these things off. Are there any trend lines on here that could be useful? Well, we already broke out and there really wasn't that much upward momentum. You have the daily charts being bullish, the weekly charts being choppy, but still bullish here. Actually, that's bearish. That was bearish. And this was bullish at the time. So, and then you had yeah, okay. 3 out of 4 we're still saying bearish here. So it needs a little bit more of a kick here before things take off. But I would say, I mean, just like everything else, though, not everything else, a lot of stuff we talk about, this still does have some really good moves when it comes to the moving averages and how volatile things can be when it decides to break, below them or above them, right, and cross over them. So, okay, look at the volatility up here when it was just messing with all these. I might wait for the 20 week to come a little bit closer before going in, but I think this would be an opportunity to start doing some dollar cost averaging, waiting for that larger spike here. On the downward side here, you go to the 4-hour chart, you're probably looking at some type of breakdown happening right now. Oh no, the breakdown already happened a while ago. Yeah, because that broke down right there, so I had to get higher. So instead, we have to be looking at more of that channel on the top side. Basically looking at that and waiting to see if it's going to have a breakdown. It's been flagging for a minute though, so hopefully it can just build back up. So in the short term here, you might look at something more like that, and for it to make a lower high, but you can buy here, sell up here, then see if it comes back down, and you may be able to rinse and repeat until it decides to have a breakout, to me break down on that side, or build back up and go for a breakout. I'd say give it a couple days. I think the short-term play is fine, but for me right now, as I'm looking at all the news coming out, I'm just like, come on guys, come on, please. This is only one day of letters coming out about trades and stuff, trade deficits and tariffs increasing. I'm not happy. And then we also saw this today too. Trump threatens extra 10% tariff on countries that align with anti-American BRICS policies. Again, that's just more tariffs. And more tariffs are just not a pleasant thing for the markets to have to deal with. But again, I will let you know, again, like I said before, Bitcoin only went down about $1,000 today, even after that news. We can still try to go higher and have a larger breakout. We just need to have some good news come in here as well. The Dow Jones came down today, but you can see it's higher. The SPY came down today, but you can see it's higher. This is a 4-hour chart, by the way. NASDAQ came down, but you can see it's generally going higher. The Bitcoin chart went up, it went down today, but generally we have been going up. And I think that's a rational thing to point out to you guys. Just wait it out and see what happens. Dollar cost averaging is going to be fine. We'll have to... I'm thinking... Why not on Thursday? Why don't we go back over to the portfolio and we could add another $100 to risk. So that's $100 a week of investment we can add in here. We can double down on tokens. We can, do a bunch of stuff like that. And then for the group portfolio safe, maybe we add another $200 of investments and we split like $100 for a safe investment, like doubling down into like Ethereum and Solana, right? And then we choose another token to buy into, or maybe we double down into a token that's been doing very bad. I forget which one of you guys told me about bubble maps and I should buy it because it does look like a fun meme coin there. But woo, look at that. What happened to it? That every week it's been choppy. It could break down and go to new lows right now. This is why you don't do leverage sometimes with the crazy leverages, I imagine doing a 10x long on that one and just saw the breakdown happen. Oh god, that'd been horrible. But what happened? This thing has been falling down for a minute. I wonder if the owners are just cashing out and letting it come up and then just cash out over and over again. Maybe if I go over here to X, hold on. Hold on, my computer's not letting me drag it. Oh, there it goes. There we go. There we go. Let's see. So the bubble map of Boop matches their tokenomics. It's simple, just bubble it. But why? Bubble maps open, yeah. Huh. Let's see. Yeah, what happened here? The next most overvalued token on my watch list is useless, currently being bull posted by the unpicked snow of maps. I'm not even seeing people really talk about it too much though. Okay, here we go. Let's see. DG is heavily bundled, at least 90% of supply. Take note of KOLs promoting it. Well, if they're calling that KOLs, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some games going on with their token as well. Then people buying it up and trying to crash in order to discredit bubble maps themselves. All right, I can see that. Ethereum, yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know. Maybe just too much volatile. I'm assuming it's a lower market cap, right? Oh yeah, it's a $31 million market cap. What am I complaining about? That's why I'm only putting like $40 into it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is one of those days where you double down into that token, actually. Yeah, we're down 40% or $8.71. How much is that? I double down and add another $8 to it. You don't need to go crazy with it. And it still says we're down, right? But at least we can dollar cost average into a little bit more. Maybe that helps us out. There we are. All right, back up here a little bit. And Bitcoin's trying to make a little bit of a move here. Let me just get out some of this news here because I got 1,000 tabs open. There we go. And that one too. Okay, a little bit of music. Yeah, as far as for going places, I'd be trying to get a car running and plan to visit Sultan Shindig on the 12th. What is Sultan Shindig? I haven't even heard that before. I don't go out much in terms of like non-work travel anymore. I used to go out a lot back, like really in the early days post-COVID, because everything was so cheap, and I felt like, oh, I'm not wasting money traveling and all this type of stuff. But this is gonna be my first trip in a minute where it hasn't been, oh, I'm going to Vegas for Bitcoin. I'm not going to San Antonio for like another conference. So I'm not, where else did I go this year? San Antonio, Vegas, Seattle a couple times, so that's not far from me, of course. But yeah, going other places, I'm going to Portland to chill. And it should be interesting. I haven't been to Portland in a very, very long time. A very, very long time. So I'm hoping that it's changed up a little bit. Maybe gotten a little bit more exciting. Maybe a little bit less homeless or something like that. And I can chill down there, get a nice hotel, and just relax. You know what I mean? It should be a good time. I think, and if any of you guys have cryptocurrency questions, ask them. Otherwise, I go on tangents like this. Otherwise, I don't know what to say. I'm also having one of those brain fog days. I thought I was on the verge of what do you call having a cold, right? And let me see, what was it? Oh, I was looking at LeMay over there. I was wondering, like, why is it over there in Spanaway? Let's see, Portland. Yeah, I'm gonna be somewhere over here. I forget the hotel I was looking at. I booked it last night when I was drunk. Yeah, right. It's not the Heathman Hotel. That one looks really good though. It was something over here. I think maybe over Alder. But yeah, so I'll be down here, you know. I live over there, so it's like a 2-hour drive. It's not too bad. And then, you know, there's also a nice little river here. I think the river looks very nice when it, like, before it actually hits the city gunk, right? It looks all nasty afterwards. You know, down here it's fine. But if you guys ever get a chance, Columbia River is a gorgeous place to go to. Again, stay away from the infrastructure side of things, but you know, it's gorgeous. I just think when there's infrastructure, it kind of messes it up. We got all these nice canals and stuff out here. Like, let me see. Yeah, look at all that beautiful stuff. Look at that beautiful river coming in. Small roads, of course, but whatever. What I like to do is go over here on this side, and there's a lot of good fishing over here if you have a boat. Maybe I could share this. Yeah, right. Damn, Portland has done up a lot of stuff here. I know there's dams and stuff, but taking away all the beauty of all the random natural stuff. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, there you go. Some trains, some rocks, just water, some dude fishing. A lot of danger for boats over there. The stubs. What would you call it? A nice time. There we are. All right. But hey, let's doubt it for what? Let's see. What dividend companies am I most interested in? Most of the time, I usually just do the cheap ones, like the Vanguards and stuff like that. There are a few ones that you can look at. The one I'm thinking about getting into right now is going to be MicroStrategy. This is going to be a dividend I want to hold for about a 3 to 4 year time horizon. And so let me show you the, let me see, MicroStrategy dividend. Can I find out where it's at? No, it's called. Here it is. It's the Yield Max MSTR Option Income Strategy EATF MITSI right here. Does pretty well. Let me go over here to last year to date, right? Going sideways, I'm totally fine with that. 5 years, mostly going sideways, I'm fine with that. Again, it pretty much opened back up over here in 2024, so it's not like it's been around for ages. But year-to-date daily total return around 27.87%. That's been pretty good to see, some little bit of movement there. But But yeah, this is probably one of the ones I would say I'm looking at this one here and hoping there's going to be some good stuff there. But usually what I do is I go over here to FinViz, because I haven't started my big research yet on this type of stuff. Screener, I like to look for American countries because good old US of A. I know there's regulations and all that good stuff. Sector right now, I'm really not looking too much into energy or anything like that. What I am looking for right now is a little bit more healthcare, so I'd go to healthcare, and I'd say dividend yield. I'd probably want it over 2%. I'd want the market cap to be a larger, so I don't want to have any craziness with the actual underlying asset. I want it to be a good company that's run efficiently. So if the market starts going down, they do massive layoffs to protect my shares and my dividends, that type of stuff. Okay, so it would be over $10 billion market cap. All right, and that basically gives me 29 healthcare tickers to go to, or 15 healthcare tickers to go to. And then from here you can see, okay, let me go over to basic. I don't know why this specific website puts a large strain on all of my computers. Excuse me. The dividend so far for this one has been 3.47%. Most of you guys are going to know a Bevy. They're just a massive corporation. They've been doing it for a while. $331 billion market cap. Excuse me. They've been around for a while. Amgen up here, they've been getting a 3.29, 3.0 over here at Baxter. What Becton is at 2.24, right? Dividend over here is 5.34. Ah, they really got hit with tariffs. They haven't been able to recover. So maybe I go over here to Bristol Myers and see what's going on. I do some research, because if I look at this one right here, let's go to the weekly chart. It's been going down since 2023. Bounced off hard back over here. Yeah. Let me put the monthly chart. All right, so this thing has been wild for a while. This one might not actually be a bad play right here. Dividend estimate was 2.48. In reality, it came out to 5.34. This could be a little bit of a higher risk one, but I think this is something I could play into. I'd have to actually see what the heck is going on with this though. Like, why are they having issues? I won't bore you with the data. Oh yeah, I won't bore you with all this stuff, but yeah. So that'd be one I put on my list right there. You can look specifically just for a higher dividend plays, but I typically want to look for companies around 2% that I think can have an opportunity to go higher. If you go over 4% right now, you only have 3 companies. All right, 3. Viatris, Pfizer, and Bristol Myers, the one we just talked about a 1 minute ago. Pfizer, you know, I don't trust them after the whole COVID stuff, and I don't think a lot of people trust them because of the COVID stuff as well, so it's been a little bit interesting. Their stock has been going down for a long time because they're not getting all that government money, right? Viatris, I don't know anything about them, so I can't speak on it. But again, you don't have to go to healthcare. You can go over here to any, and now you have 67. I can be like, hey, I want something above 3% dividends. You can kind of play it out. ADM, you know, American Electric Power Supply Company, and you just start looking at some of the charts, seeing how they've been doing. I just want stability. It's okay if it goes down every now and again, as long as it keeps on doing fine, right? Like this one right here, AFG, American Financial Group, that's fine. 5% dividend, that thing is solid as a freaking rock. Buy into that one. My retirement has some of that in there. Amgen, I haven't really gotten into Amgen again. Pharmaceuticals and things like that usually are a little bit of a turnoff, but heck, I'm looking at the Bristol Myers one, so what am I talking about? No, what those are healthcare. They're not necessarily biotech. Biotech is its own little thing. This dividend is 3.3%. American Homes for Rent. They buy up homes and they rent the homes. Diabolical, but it's profitable, I guess you would say, right? AMT, 3%, not good, but I can see the chart doing okay. So you pretty much go through here and you see how the company's doing, the sector's doing. What I've been trying to find out personally, and this is, I guess, I don't talk about it as much, but I've been trying to find some of the AI companies that can offer some good dividends. Like I told you guys, I have some Big Bear AI. Want to show me? See-through AI, do they free? Let's see. No. BBAI, is that the ticker? Yeah, Big Bear Holdings. Okay. I was going crazy for a second. All right. Right. So this one doesn't have a dividend, but it's also just doing great, right? I want to find companies like this that have an opportunity to make me some money while also having dividends. The issue is the market cap is only 2.27 billion. It's not really that large. It's been performing pretty well, right? But it's just not that large. You know, maybe go to information technology services, and let me just go over here to dividend yield over 3%. There's only 5. All right. And I don't think any of these are AI companies. Magic Software Enterprises, that's in Israel, that's not even American. There's 2 in America. Xerox Holdings and Information Services Group. And this one has a market cap of 240 million. All right. Dividend is around 3.6%. This thing has been pumping though. This thing can run up a lot more. The market cap is only 241 million. Yeah, maybe I'll look into this one. Having solid growth, dividend growth over 3 to 5 years, with 25% dividend growth. That's not bad at all. That means they are really struggling back over here a while ago, right? The other thing is a lot of these AI companies are private. They're not public, right? You can't just go out there and buy ChatGPT. You have to go out there and buy Microsoft, who owns a big chunk of GPT. And that's why you see Microsoft shares doing so strongly. That's the way you have to play it. But maybe I'll make a list, or we'll spend a day just like looking over, you know, because at this point, you know, I have been kind of like bored of Bitcoin just going sideways and doing the same stuff over and over and over again. Because, you know, whenever we have these types of moves, you're always going to see people say, oh, it's really because of this reason or this reason, this reason. Point is, we're coming down. I think you can call it a technical thing because we are close to all-time highs. You can call it a news thing because of Trump's tariffs things. But, you know, we're used to it right now. And I'm wondering if every now and again we should just spend a day doing something completely different, like building up a watch list of AI stocks to buy. Like I already own some AI tokens, as you guys know, but AI stocks that have an opportunity to go higher, I think that'd be kind of fun to do as well. And then what I want to do with you guys on this, and this is something that I don't know if I'm gonna have the time for, but I think I can. It'd be like a weekly type of thing that we do, like maybe every Thursday or every Sunday we do a recap of how the market did. That way we can talk about how the market's going to open up, because you know the markets are closed on Sunday. Why don't we do that? I got a Robinhood account, right? I don't use it, but I have it. I thought I was blocked out of it. Hold on a second. Log in. Let's see. Send me a text instead. There you go. On my phone it says my account is inactive, so maybe I have to re-sign up for it or something like that. There we go. There we go. Let's see. I have $56 in here, and I don't remember that. Okay, but we have some Bitcoin that I own. I think I only have $1 Bitcoin. I kind of pulled out most of my stuff. My average cost was at $34,995, right? So my total returns were 84 cents, but since I held it, I held that little bit, and I got 209% back for it. That's why I love looking at this type of stuff. I think the one that sucked was Fun, though. Fun lost me money on this one. Again, I didn't buy too much of it. The average cost was $10 about one share, and now it's down to $3.26. That one was bad. This one was like a meme stock back in the day, right? If I go back over here, year to date. No, this was a long time ago. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, way back over here. Yeah, it was a fun time. I'm just holding it to see if it ever turns into something. There was one back over here in 2021, back over here 2024, back over here later in 2024. I'm hoping it comes back, but every time it spikes, it goes up to like $10. So I'm probably gonna be able to like take my money and run. I might have been trying to teach a lesson with this one. And the last one over here was the Nvidia one. I sold off most of my stuff here, but my average cost for Nvidia was $16.50, and then of course it's at $151. So I made up over 858% on this one. When did I buy this though? Does it say? It's 10, yeah, split. Yeah, I wish it told you when you bought. Because then you can dollar cost average and know, but I would love it if it could tell me when I bought it. But regardless, it's nice, you know, profitable. That one's bigger than Bitcoin, right? Which is hilarious. Damn, this cigar is dying on me though a little bit. Sorry about all the clicking noises. Yeah, but that's interesting. Why don't we do that for one day? I think that'd be kind of fun. Hey, Stoney, what about Bonk 2? I'm going to check out. I can do that. Portland is cleaning themselves up. Oh, that's good. Oh, doubt it. Yeah. I doubt it. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. Yeah. What do you think Elon Musk's new party? Will it hurt the Republicans' party? No, I don't think it'll do too much. Again, our system is not designed to have 3 parties. I would love if they could do it, but Elon Musk has become too volatile of a person. Like, he's a great innovator and a great entrepreneur, but let's be frank, politics chewed him up and spit him out, right? And he just doesn't understand the give and pull that you have to, that compromise type of stuff. When you're the CEO, you don't really have to compromise too much, right? And you saw a lot of this happening during Trump's first term, right? He was like, no, I want it this way, I want it this way, I want it this way, because this way is the one that's going to work. Well, like, yes, sir, we know this would work, but there are special interests out there that are going to make it more difficult. So in order to get that bill passed, you have to take this out, put this into this. And he's like, what the fuck who are these special? Like, you know, all that type of stuff. Elon, I don't think is very good at politics from what I've seen so far. When he puts his money towards something, people are using his money efficiently for the most part, but I just haven't seen him be that like thing that can get it done. What I would hope he'd do is he just pays somebody a shit ton of money that knows what they're doing, they do it, and then they have a chance. But this has been tried multiple times and people just don't like it. And what a fucking horrible name, the American Party. That's a fucking horrible name. You really have to do something that's going to inspire people, right? Like Democrat, Republican. I know there's some old party name that can be resurrected from the ashes that people could use, where it makes more sense. The American Party just doesn't seem well thought out, right? It seems like he's just playing games right now to kind of jab Trump. And of course, let him jab Trump all he wants to. I don't care, but like, it lessens my opinion of Elon, which has been going down for a while now, just because he really hasn't been able to just like understand the game. The game is corruption. The game is getting what you want. I think he was just expecting more from Trump for all the money he gave, and then Trump was like, nah, bro, nah, you know, that kind of set him off. I think that's what kind of happened here. They probably had some agreement. Trump betrayed that agreement. And you know how your parents, when you're a kid, say you're gonna do something, like, hey, Timothy, I promise we're gonna go out and get some ice cream tomorrow, but something happens, and then you go to your mom and you're like, hey, you lied to me. I thought we were getting ice cream today. She's like, no, I didn't lie. I just changed my mind. Right? That's how I think Elon feels right now with Donald Trump. And I think because Elon is on X lot, he kind of feeds, he thinks that Twitter is like majority people. Well, if you just look at it, man, like when the MAGA war happened a few weeks ago between the big beautiful bill, Trump won that pretty handily, right? Pretty darn handily. Elon just said, hey, if you guys vote for the bill, I'm going to primary you. I'm going to spend a lot of money to unseat you. And guess what? They were more afraid or worried, whatever we're going to call it, about Donald Trump rather than Elon Musk. And Elon Musk, I don't think, comprehends that, because again, money is a good form of power, but there is something, such a thing as like power is power. That scene from Game of Thrones where Littlefinger is threatening Cersei and he says something to the effect of, I've always found that knowledge is power, right? And then Cersei's like, guards, arrest him, slit his throat. And then she's like, oh wait, no, don't do that. And she's like, power is power, right? So it's like, boom, hits you a little bit more. I think Elon is just realizing that power is power, and money is not the same as just having like raw power given to you by the people and the Constitution, yada yada yada. Check out Blind Onion Pizza and Pub when you pass Hazeldale in Vancouver. Ooh, I'll have to try that out. Yeah, that could be pretty fun. Yeah, no worries, Alex. Maybe we'll do it. We'll do it this Sunday night. I'll be driving back Sunday afternoon back here. So it'll be this Sunday night, because I'll be recovering from Vegas and everything, and that'll be a perfect way to not have to do like the full show. I'm like breaking down all the technical analysis of that. We'll do technical analysis, but it'll be much more laid back and relaxed. We're literally just chilling. I might even smoke my pipe here, right? And it'll be like, ready to go, everybody? Let's start going from a list from scratch. And then what we'll probably do is we'll use ChatGPT, and we'll use ChatGPT to just kind of add things to our list, build up a list, and then what I can do is I can upload that list onto Google Docs at the end of the stream, and then say, hey everybody, if you want to have a copy of this and just like choose what you want out of it yourself, give it a shot. And maybe what I do on Robinhood is I do I got that Robinhood account right here. Why don't I maybe like 50 bucks into each ETF and just kind of see how they perform. And if they are performing well, we can double down and put like 400 bucks in each one and then go higher and higher and higher, right? I think that might be a good thing to do. Except for I just wish it would let me know when I bought stuff. Investing. Let me see if I can go into my other stuff if it actually lets me know. I just don't know. Account. Crypto transfers. Reports and statements, maybe? Oh, that's my months now. Recurring. Transfers. Stocks. No, it does not tell me when I actually bought these stocks. That is crazy. Well, that's okay. History? Wait, history. Oh, so that was only back in 2021 I bought Nvidia. Damn. Sometimes just letting that account sit and hold does some wonders for you. I saw some crypto in Robinhood. Yeah, yeah, but not a lot. I mean, it's like just literally a few pennies, so I don't think it's too much there. But yeah, I'm hoping, you know, I don't know. I'm not gonna put any crypto into Robinhood. I don't like the app overall. I'm still bugged out about that guy, what he did with the GameStop fiasco and how he like deliberately fucked things up. But yeah, so why don't we try that this Sunday? We're gonna have to use ChatGPT so you can copy the prompts I use, but they're not gonna be professional prompts. It's literally me having a conversation with ChatGPT. And then we're gonna be looking specifically for AI companies. And then why not the next following Sunday, what we do is we look for AI dividend companies. No, it'll all be the same thing if it's AI. Let's have fun and do AI to kick things off because everybody likes AI. And then what we'll do is the next week we'll go into dividend plays here and we'll do a tough dividend search because that dividend search takes a long time. Like you have to take a lot of notes when looking at dividend plays. and most looking at the 10K reports. But I believe on ChatGPT there's a way to speed that up, which is why I want to do it. I believe if I go over here to this one, GPTs, and 10K. So, okay, there we go. So there's this one. 10K Analyzer, expert in analyzing and summarizing 10K filings for companies by Daniel Mazaluka. All right. So you can use different prompts like that. So web search and dolly images. It has mixed ratings, but I would say majority are 5. So I'm happy with that. So what we'll do is we'll do that one. Can I keep in sidebar? There we go. So when it comes down to it, we'll be using that to analyze stuff, and it'll be fun. He's dark MAGA. Let's see. Yeah, it's packed tight for what? See, I'm not following all the conversations as much as I should be. Packed tight for what? When I'm going to Portland, I don't know. I'm not going to be packing really much of anything. I'm going to bring bring a single suitcase, and I'm going to guess get some stuff from dry cleaning or something like that, so I can look good while I do it. Yeah, that should be fine, I would say. Hopefully that works out. Let's see, there we go, yeah. But, let's see. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to approach it. And then basically we can do a budget of $100, and we weight certain assets to a certain degree. And that way one stock that we buy maybe has 20 bucks, well maybe only one has 5. You can always readjust and add more money, but I'm just talking about like that way you have a weight. So if your personal investing amount is like 10,000 bucks, well you just multiply it a little bit and you still get the same numbers, right? The same percentages and weights. So that should be pretty fun as well. All right, but okay, buddy, I'm gonna call it a day here for today's stream. I'll be back to normal tomorrow. I feel like I just have some crazy brain fog, and I've been having it for a minute. I ate some barbecue over the last few days, and I had some food here. So I think my body is like adjusting to getting like fat back into my system, which is not good. So I think I need to hone down on some of the eating I've been doing here, which should be okay. It's STP this weekend. I don't know what STP is. Sounds like an STD. Haha. Let me see. STP 2025. Cigars because it keeps going out so I don't smoke early. Yeah, right. Oh no, cigars not making me brain fog. I woke up this morning with just extreme brain fog, and I was like, what? Oh, it's a bicycle race from Seattle to Portland. Oh, fuck that. Yeah. Keep me on a motorcycle any day. Can't do any of that type of stuff. But okay, buddy. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to put out some videos for you guys here. I think what I need to do is go take a nap, wake up with some energy. I'm not even going out with my friends tonight to smoke or anything like that. I'm chilling out tonight. And I'll have some good content for you guys tomorrow. I'll be back to my good old self, and hopefully I'll make some cool videos because I'm going to start using some CNBC clips and some CNN clips and Fox News clips into my content. That way I have the CNN, which is the liberal side, Fox, which is the right side, and CNBC, which is more of like the liberal finance news side. But I don't like Fox Business News that much right now. They're just so